So, normally when we see a linear function, right, it looks something like, well, I got my post-it notes here. It looks something like this. Y is equal to mx plus b, right? Anyone remember what this formula is called? Slope. What's the name of it? Slope. Slope intercept form. Good. Rise over run would be the slope. This whole thing is slope intercept form. Yeah, Davis, go ahead real quick. Go ahead real quick. So why? Hey, worry about yourself, please. Don't be talking about other people. Okay, we got a linear function here, right? Normally we see y is equal to some number x plus some number, right? On Monday, when I was gone and you guys were working with Miss Chow, the entire Alex assignment was just evaluating these functions, right? Where you would say, okay, if x is 2, then I would do y is equal to 2 times 2 plus 3, right? What's 2 times 2? Plus 3? 7. Okay, what we're doing today is exactly the same thing. It looks a little different, so it might be confusing, but it's exactly the same thing, okay? F of x, okay? That's how we say this. Everybody say f of x. Okay, f stands for function, and x is my input, right? So I'm going to put in an x value into my function, work it out, and what am I going to get out? An output, or a y value, right? F of x is the same as y. Okay, so even though it looks different, it's the same thing. For example, let's say we have f of x equals negative 2x plus 9. Why is it so quiet? Here we go. All right. And we're going to highlight my x and my x. All right. If I have the function negative 2x plus 9, and I wanted to evaluate this function at f of 4. Go ahead and highlight the number 4. Okay? It's exactly the same thing as just plugging 4 in for x and solving. But we're writing it as f of 4, which is equal to negative 2 times, I'm going to take out my x, plus 9. What am I going to write in place of that x there? 4, because it's f of 4. And I'm going to highlight my 4 there as well. Okay, what is negative 2 times 4?
Negative 8.
Negative 8. What's negative 8 plus 9? 1. So for this function, f of 4 is equal to 1.
And that's how you solve it.
Yep. That's all it is. Yes.
I'm curious, like what like a word problem equation would look like to find something like this.
I'm curious too. Anyway,
Don't ask that question.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to get to word problems today.
Yay!
All right.
Less stress.
We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it simple. It's Friday, the 13th. We're going to keep it nice and simple, okay?
Probably why today's been so crazy.
All right. Now, let's say I wanted to do f of 6 plus 3. Okay, so for our first little number 1 there, I was just putting in an input of 4. Now I'm going to put in an input of 6. And then whatever I get, I'm just adding 3. That's what this means. So it would look like negative 2 times my input of 6 plus 3. So you have that additional little piece of information hanging off there. Everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. So what is negative 2 times 6? Negative 12 plus 9 plus 3. What is negative 12 plus 9 plus 3?
0.
0. Thank you. So f of 6 plus 3 is going to be equal to, in this case, 0.
Which? Wait, can you explain that?
Sure. So if we're looking at the homework that we're about to look at, right? We're going to get a function like this, okay? And it's going to say evaluate the function at f of 6 plus 3. So you find, okay, what's f of 6? Well, negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 9 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So this function here, when we plug in a 6 and then add 3, that gives me 0. Here we just plugged in a 4 and worked it out. Here we plugged in a 6, but then we added that extra 3 on the end. It's just a lot of arithmetic, right? A lot of multiplying, a lot of adding, a lot of subtracting. I would just leave a little space. Melanie, I'll bring this over after, okay? Don't stress. All right? Let's take it up another level. What if I wanted to evaluate f of 5 minus f of 1? Okay, f of 5 minus f of 1. You guys okay in the middle? Kai, Aldrich? Yeah? Okay. Well, what's f of 5? F of 5 would be negative 2 times 5 plus 9. Minus, well, f of 1 would be negative 2 times 1 plus 9. Right, so now we're evaluating it twice and finding the difference by subtracting. Oops, I forgot to highlight my little 1. So, let's take this step by step. We don't want to mess ourselves up by trying to do too much at once. What is negative 2 times 5?
Negative 10.
Negative 10, and then I've got plus 9. Minus, what's negative 2 times 1?
Negative 2.
Negative 2 plus 9. All right? What happens when I have two minus signs right next to each other like this? What do they make? They make a positive, right? If we want to visualize it, here's one minus sign, here's another minus sign. They're like magnets. They're close to each other. Boom, they stick together and make a plus. So this right here becomes a plus. All right? And if we add all of these numbers together, negative 10 plus 9 is negative 1, plus 2 is 1, plus 9 is 10. So f of 5 minus f of 1 is equal to just 10. So it was really important for you guys to get that practice on Monday through that Alex assignment with Miss Chow, because it was leading into a little bit more complicated stuff like this. But hopefully it's not too bad. Quick show of thumbs, how are we feeling so far? Uh-oh. Okay. Ooh. You think I just made this up?
Yeah, this sounds so unbelievable. For real.
Well, when we crack open the textbook in a little bit, you'll see that I certainly didn't write the textbook. Okay.
Probably did.
What doesn't make sense about this?
The whole thing.
The whole thing? You got to be more specific than
You
that.
lost me on this number 2.
You lost me on number 2, right here. Okay. Let's. It's a good. I'm glad that you brought it up. Let's pretend this plus 3 is not there. Okay. Number 1 made sense, you said, right? Okay. So let's say it's f of 6. We plug in the 6, right?
Yeah.
We get negative 12 plus 9. Anthony, what's negative 12 plus 9?
Negative 3.
Anthony, because you asked, you said it didn't make sense. What's negative 12 plus 9? Negative 3. Okay, we get negative 3. What's negative 3 plus 3?
0.
Boom, there it is. Right? So if evaluating made sense, all we're doing is just adding 3 on the end.
I know, but like, where did the negative 2 and 6 and 9 come from?
The function that we started with?
What? So they're all like one part?
Yeah, that's why this is up top and nice and big. We're using this function and we're evaluating it at different things. It's the same equation we're using on all 3 steps. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. With this third one, it's like we just evaluated twice. Yeah.
Did you like randomly pick the numbers? Like the numbers like randomly picked, or like did you somehow know what numbers to choose?
He follows the math book.
He follows the math book. Here's the answer sheet.
He literally has the answer sheet.
It's an interesting question. It doesn't matter what the numbers are. We could evaluate this for f of 1,216. The numbers are arbitrary, if that's what you're asking. Any other questions I can answer about that? Let's take a look at another one.
Wait, how many questions are in the
We'll figure it out later. Let's focus on understanding first.
Which one is
Let's say I've got g of x is equal to
G of X.
the letter for the function doesn't matter. Let's say I've got g of x is equal to
14.
See, it doesn't matter what numbers we do. Someone give me a number between 1 and 10. Judah, what'd you say? Okay. 7x squared plus, Joanne, give me a number between 1 and 10.
27.
Okay, 2. 27 is not between 1 and 10.
27.
I already got 2. 0 is not between 1 and 10 either. So the equation doesn't matter, right? You pick these numbers. This isn't coming. I have my notes here. I'm not even going to use them. These are your numbers, okay? Let's say we want to evaluate this function at g of t, a number through 1 through 10.
1.
Okay, nice and easy. 1. G of 1. All right? This feels like a magic trick somehow, but it's not. It's just a mathic trick. I didn't cook? It's okay.
No, he did cook.
So, if I have g of 1, I'm going to rewrite my equation. 7 times x squared plus 2. What am I going to plug in for x?
1.
1. All right? Give me a thumbs up if you're with me so far. Okay. So these numbers, they're just going to give you in the book. You know what I mean? It's whatever it says to plug in, you're just going to plug it in.
Yeah.
Now let's solve this. What is 1 squared?
1.
Okay, so I've got 7 times 1 plus 2. What's 7 times 1?
7.
7. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay, what's 7 plus 2?
9.
9. So g of 1 is equal to positive 9.
Huh?
Is equal to 9.
That G could possibly be 9.
Right? If g of x is equal to 7x squared plus 2, then g of 1 is equal to 9.
So does that mean
Yeah.
No, that means G would equal.
You said, does that mean g equals 9? No.
Stop.
G of 1 equals 9.
Which means G is.
So for this function, if I was going to make
grid? There's grid picture.
7x squared plus 2, if I was going to make a table of inputs and outputs, an input of 1 gives me an output of what?
9.
What did we just find?
1.
Thank you, 9.
Oh.
We're just doing inputs and outputs. It's the same thing, right? Then I could plot 1, 9 on a graph, and we could see how that looks, right?
Oh.
Is that making a little more sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like 9.
Let's try. Melanie, give me a number 1 through 10. Give me a negative number, negative 1 through negative 10.
Negative 9.
Hold on, Melanie. Negative 5. Okay. Justin, give me a number 1 through 10. 3. All right. G of negative 5 plus 3.
Oh, shit.
Okay, it's all right. It's fine. Guys, just worry about yourselves, please. Bro, why is this not? Oh. Justin, you said plus 3, right? Okay, cool. I want to do it in this different color. G of negative 5 plus 3. Well, let's plug it in and see. I'm going to rewrite my function without the x. Okay. What am I inputting for x here now? Negative 5. And I've got this additional direction of now adding 3.
Yikes.
That's a lot.
It looks like a lot, but if you follow PEMDAS, it's not that bad.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You forgot about that. Remember. I'll make a new one. What is negative 5 squared?
25. Positive.
Positive 25. A negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, hold on, guys. We're going to take this step by step. I don't want to go too fast.
Oh, my head hurts. I just feel tired.
Okay, it's all right.
Minority now.
Okay, after exponents comes multiplication. What is 7 times 25?
175.
100.
Liana, what is it?
175.
175, right? You got 7 nickels. That's $1.75. 175 plus 2 plus 3. Now comes addition. What's 175 plus 2 plus 3?
180.
180. So, g of negative 5 plus 3 is equal to 180.
Which is crazy. That's probably.
So, like I said, the numbers are arbitrary. They could be anything. Whatever the book says the number is, that's what the number is. Right? You guys came up with these numbers. We plugged them in. We did our math, how we learned to do it, and we evaluated it. I forgot to highlight my negative 5. Right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else I missed? Nope.
Okay.
Cool.
Book thing?
How are we feeling now? Quick show of thumbs, because there was a lot of down and sideways. Are we going a little bit more towards the up? Okay. If you get stuck, just let me know. I'm here to help, okay? Um,